Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's Swissman 15, and I just have to talk to you guys about something. Um, this is just going to be a short talk, and I think a lot of you might be interested in what it has to say. It's has to do with the Grand Campaign hot seat and other hot seats, really, for that matter. It's hopefully not going to be too long, but basically, a lot of you have been wondering why this hot seat has been taking so long, and among other hot seats, why they take so long to get from one turn to the other. And apparently it's a lot more in depth of an issue than this, especially for the Grand Campaign hot seat, which has been a bit problematic for a while now. Um, as in any hot seat or anything with other players, it's just that people are not as reliable or dedicated as you may want them to be. It's not anything malicious, of course. It's people who just have other things in their lives. Sometimes they think, oh, it's not that important, or they just don't even think about it, and it's not really that they're trying to screw with the hot seat or they don't care about the hot seat. They don't really notice about it. It's just things that happen, and that's part of life. However, it's been getting pretty bad for other hot seats. The Britannia hot seat's pretty shut down because one thing, I'm probably not that good at managing hot seats or tournaments. Everything I manage eventually falls apart because I don't have the dedication to pursue people and really force them to do this stuff. I really would rather people just want to do it on their own, which isn't necessarily the case. But for the Grand Campaign hot seat, we had this entire time rule for the turns, and, well, it was never really enforced. And I can't blame it because a lot of people go over these time limits, and I say some for good reason because you just don't have the time. That's understandable. But when it gets to the point that almost every single person comes up and they always have something going on, the odds are just stacked against it. If you have to go multiple weeks without being able to play, there's something going on that's just not, it's not physically possible that you can't get about half an hour to an hour, because no one's at the point where you need hour-long turns, really, just to record this. And planning can be done without recording, and you glance the turn for a little bit, and you can plan while you do other stuff, so there's no reason planning or any other excuse can really get in the way. And if you have 2 weeks without 1 hour of free time, I'm really doubting your validity. Maybe in extreme circumstances, but if those circumstances happen again 10 times in a row, then there's something wrong. But that's the main reason that this has been slowing up. And then, since it's been going so slow, there's been a lot of drama around this. Actually, like, a ton of drama. Apparently, there's this one guy who... I'm not going to name any names around here. I don't really want to say any names for anything I'm about to mention, because I don't want to start any fights or anything. But he was going around talking to different people in the hot seat, and it was causing some tensions to rise, and apparently a lot of trolling was going on, I guess. I'm not sure. I didn't even know what was happening. I talked to the guy, but it was like exchange of 3 words. You're like, why is it going on for so long? And like tons of people ask me why it's taking so long. I'm like, well, people are the reason it takes so long. It's not anything like bad, but that's just what happens. But this guy apparently caused some problems, and then we were asked to ban or block him, and I guess some people did that. I didn't really take part of it, but I think he actually blocked me, which is weird. I didn't do anything. I didn't really care. But now what we have is that the hot seat has literally gone to a complete and total standstill because we can't continue on a certain turn because someone, I'm not going to name who, for these that people know who they are, and people who should know and are involved in this know the different people, and they have the right to know. So I'm not trying to call whoever out the someone is right now. I'm really not. I'm just trying to explain what's going on. Is holding the hot seat turn until someone fesses up because some, I guess, trash was talked about him behind his back, and this guy who was the other guy who was causing the original trouble, who's not part of the hot seat, gave this other guy who's been offended. Okay, this is guy 1 and guy 2. Let's go. Guy 1 is a guy outside of the hot seat who was communicating everyone who asked me about the hot seat, just like other people. Guy 2 is the person who was offended and holding up the hot seat turn. Guy 2 is holding up this hot seat turn until the person who talked to Guy 1 fesses up and just comes and talks to him about it. And I made my personal reservations against this known because I feel like this is just going to get us nowhere. It's only going to perpetuate really the drama around here. And my, I guess, spokenness has led to more than one person telling me or trying to ask me if I'm the person who talked the trash, and I did not. If I was, well, one thing I wouldn't, because one thing, I'm very upfront. with what I've been. You can look at all the things I've never held back anything. And so now I'm being accused, and also I know other people who are willing to do a fake confession just to get this hot seat moving again. And it's just not going anywhere. And I can't fix it. I could consider lying and saying that I did do it. And then there's still people, no matter what I do right now, will think, well, this is exactly what a liar would say. He's the one who talks shit. Well, I can tell you I didn't. Whether you believe me or not, it's up to you. But the reason I'm telling you all of this and why this is going forward is because I think it's one thing that got me really, I want to say impassioned about it, passionate about this, just because I think it's worthy of noticing just how humans on any form just really cause their own problems, literally. We could, and there's a lot of this is just egos getting in the way. People are too busy just to let it, like, put it aside and just forget it and just go on for the sake of going on. And other people who are willing to let their ego go aside just to get it go on, which is some negativity, some positivity, but it doesn't make any difference that holding up this hot seat or just holding up anything just for some moral point achieves nothing. You're not necessarily going to get the right person, especially when you don't know who it is. And what do you achieve? Well, you're just going to have your anger directed at a particular person rather than some ambiguous figure. If that's what you want, so be it, but it's not conducive to any long-term hot seat. And also, it's just probably going to cause more problems in the future. And I keep on saying hot seat because this is, again, coming directly from what's going on in this hot seat. So, what I ask of you guys, one thing is just see how this might apply to your lives, because it could be really beneficial to realize when you just have to let something go, especially when it's really not important, especially saying it's just a game. We're trying to play a game, and people's egos are getting in the way of us continuing because they want to get down to the bottom of some background drama. And now people going through vigilantes trying to find out who it is, and it's just going to cause even more problems and more drama. And honestly, I got a little bit ticked off, but I'm trying to keep myself down because I know I didn't do it, and now there's people who, for a long time, and maybe forever, will think that I'm the person who talked the trash, and will, no matter what, have that subconscious and somewhat conscious stigma attached to me. And I can't erase that. And it's annoying, but I'm never going to say that I'm the person just for the point of it, because one thing, I disagree with the entire purpose of it. Second thing, that would be lying, and I try to avoid lying when I can. Lying is I only lie when I think it's necessary. And this is not the point that was necessary. I guess this is not the very most convincing statement of candidacy, but that is what I can say to you guys. So just anyone who may be from the hot seat is watching this, I hope you guys agree with me and can tell that certain someone who's holding up the hot seat that we need to get this moving on. And I also hope anyone who isn't part of this hot seat, I apologize to you, because it's really not fair that you guys are the ones who want to watch this hot seat, and it's not fair to the players either who want to play it. It was fun. It is fun to play, but it's not going anywhere, and it's not fair to anyone for this just because of some petty drama. And it makes me consider, do I really want to be part of this hot seat and go through all of this just for random views? I know this is one of my highest viewed videos, and I really don't want to die because I like people watching me. I guess that's my own ego involved, but I don't know where to go on with this, and I don't know if it's worth the time and effort. I definitely want to stay in, but if it's going to hold up for another 2 weeks just trying to figure out what this problem is, I don't know if it's worth it. Honestly, I don't believe I'm actually going to quit. I think that's just some words that I want to say and act like I would, but I'm not going to. Also, I'm afraid that I might be kicked. But I don't know what to do. So just anyone who's in it, just let's try to move past this and try to let's move on. Anyone who's watching this, try to apply the situation, because it's a good lesson that sometimes you just need to bury the hatchet, right? Thank you all for watching. I hope you guys actually take this to heart, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Goodbye, my friends.